everyone, it's Kim and welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. It's the end of October, so I thought I would tell you what I hauled during my birthday month. My birthday was on October 4th, and of course the thing I always want is books. So wanted to show you a couple of books that I've gotten as gifts. Also want to show you all of the books I've received so far as one of the members of the Abrams dinner party for 2022 into 2023. Let's start with the nonfiction books for the month of October that I have hauled. First up, this is a brand new 22 release for October, Conversations Behind the Kitchen Door, 50 American Chefs Chart Today's Food Culture by Emmanuel LaRoche. I actually follow the author on Instagram. He has a wonderful podcast as well. The author, having grown up in France, traveled throughout Europe, and settled in the United States, Emmanuel LaRoche draws from his knowledge and fascination with everything food related, as well as the network he built along the journey, to bring a collection of culinary insights from creative geniuses and foodies everywhere. Conversations Behind the Kitchen Door offers commentary and advice from the culinary professionals featured on LaRoche's popular podcast, Flavors Unknown, which I highly recommend. Whether you're seeking recipes of much admired chefs or insights to your experiment on your own flavor combinations, your food enthusiasts will understand how a chef's unique story drives his or her perspective, explore the many facets of inspiration, develop your own culinary unique style, and much more. So like I said, this is a brand new book, like just off the shelves. I got it from Kitchen and Letter Arts in New York City. It's an independent bookstore that specializes in the world of culinary books. Anything from food writing books to chef memoirs. Also a great deal of food cookbooks, and they have a really cool level of historical books there as well. I cannot wait until I can go and see this go visit their store in the future. I order from them quite often, especially when it comes with new releases, because they often are able to get the authors in to sign them. I actually got 2 copies by accident of Kosher Soul from Michael Twitty, and have one of them on my Pango bookstore for sale if any of you want that new release that came out in August. Next up is Memoir of the Sunday Brunch by Julia Pandel. This is a memoir. This author was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So what is this book about? At age 12, Julia Pandel was initiated into the ritual of the Sunday brunch at her father's Milwaukee-based restaurant, a weekly madhouse where she and her 8 siblings before her learned not just the family business, but also lessons that would shape them for years to come. I love memoirs that are really about family. This particular family grew up with a Sunday brunch and a restaurant, and I think there's so much you can learn from working from a young age, or just what family traditions and tie-ins come, and I'm very excited to read this. I actually got this one at Open Books for $4. Next up is another brand new October release, one that I pre-ordered many moons ago, and this is Savor, A Chef's Hunger for More by Fatima Ali. If the name sounds familiar, she was a contestant on Top Chef a few seasons ago, but she died tragically at the age of 29 from cancer. And this is about, she had started writing this book herself and did not finish it for obvious reasons. Fatima was also the recipient of a James Beard Award in writing for her essay, where she actually talked about her cancer diagnosis as such a young chef. If the picture on the back, maybe that will jog your memory. She was on an earlier season of Top Chef, and she is Pakistani American, and it was really, I loved watching her on the show, and I really wanted to know more about her, and it's very sad that her life was cut so short. So just to read the inside cover for you, a young chef whose dreams were cut short savors every last minute as she explores food and adventure, illness and mortality in a stunning lyrical memoir and family story that sweeps from Pakistan to New York City and beyond. Fatima Ali won the hearts of viewers as the fan favorite of Bravo's Top Chef in season 15. 29 years old, she was dynamic, boundary-breaking chef and had a bright new voice and change in the food world. After the taping wrapped and before the season aired, Ali was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer. Not one to ever slow down or admit defeat, the star chef vowed to spend her final year traveling the world, eating delicious food and making memories with her loved ones. I mean, that's really crazy to think about. I just turned 33, and to think her life was cut short at 29. She had so much she gave so much to the world in those 29 years. I can't wait to see what this last year meant to her. And the final nonfiction book I've received this month, which will be a great segue into the Abrams Supper Club, is Sweet Land of Liberty, A History of America in 11 Pies. This is by Rosti Anastopoulou, and I actually just baked an apple pie using this recipe, kind of, because I'm gluten-free, so I made a couple of changes. I really enjoy books. It's 11 pies, and there's history involved. There is a recipe at the end of most chapters, so you can make your own pie, and this is a new release as well. It's a delicious and delightful narrative of history of pie in America. I don't know what else to say. I'm very excited to read this. I already read the chapter on apple pie, apple butter pie, and I'm just so psyched. I find books like this delightful, really consumable, really easy to read, and it's a great way to get history in front of people in a way that's really fun and delightful. I think we think of America, we think of apple pie and pumpkin pie. But what are the other 9 pies that are in here, you may ask? One of them is key lime pie. We also have molasses pie, sweet potato pie, pecan pie, chiffon pie, derby pie, Jello pie, and many, many more. And I am so excited to have this. And this is the most recent book I have received as part of the Abrams dinner party. So you're probably wondering, what is this Abrams dinner party? So we are a group of influencers and partners who work with Abrams books throughout the year, and we receive different food-related books. So far, I have received 5. You just saw the book about American pie, and other books I've received are Cure, the New Orleans drinks and how to mix them. You know, they ask, we really disclose that we get books and we get to post about them. Now, I like to make recipes from the books. I am actually waiting on some non-alcoholic bitters to arrive, and I can't wait to make a recipe or a drink out of this book. I don't actually drink alcohol. It doesn't work well with my body, but I'm so excited that this non-alcoholic space has really bloomed in the last couple of years. And I'm really excited to try it and try and be a part of that community. It's not for everyone who chooses not to drink. I'm not here to advocate either way, but that's my own personal journey. So I'm excited to try and see if I can make a really good non-alcoholic drink. Other books I have received so far are Take It Easy, What's Gabby Cooking? I've made one recipe out of this book and have it on my shorts page for my YouTube channel, and it was a really delicious meal. It was a pasta dish with meat and sauces, and then 2 other books are the 2022 Christmas with Southern Living and Together at the Table, Entertaining at Home with the creators of Jubilee. Now, these 2 books, I have created recipes out of this one. This one over here is really about entertaining and how to host the space. I think I'm actually probably going to use it more around Christmas time. I'm usually in charge of a little bit of decorating and style when it comes to the holidays, so I'm excited to use this book in the future. Thanksgiving will be at my mother-in-law, so I don't want to, I'll probably bring something, so I'm definitely going to look into these books again. So you can always find more content about these books, specifically on my Instagram channel. That's where I predominantly post about them, but I have been learning to make shorts with my recipes so I can read it and eat, which is a really fun challenge for me. I'm much more of a cook than I am I like to cook more than baking, I should say. Following a recipe is hard, especially someone who tries to eat gluten-free. I always find things don't always work out in my favor, but I am trying my best, and it is a new area for me. I have said in the past, I am not a cookbook collector. I'm not someone who has a lot of cookbooks because, like I mentioned, I have to make a lot of tweaks along the way and often find half the time I'm creating a new dish just with someone else's foundation. But I am excited to be part of the Abrams Supper Club, the Abrams Dinner Party, and really challenge myself. Just like I mentioned, I have a whole book on cocktails now, but I don't drink alcohol. Well, now there are many more options. And I think that's actually a really fun angle to take when approaching cookbooks is, what am I going to do to make them fit my lifestyle? And having that kind of attitude about it really took the pressure off. So I'm really excited to learn more. I have not gone to cooking school or anything, but I did take a culinary boot camp a couple of years ago where I took a whole week off from work, and each day I learned how to fillet a fish and to poach things and make sauces. So I do have a fairly decent foundation, and I'm really, with all of this food history and knowledge from all the books I'm reading, I'm more choiceful about my ingredients. So I'm excited. Let's you can walk the talk, Kim, walk the walk, Kim, let's do it. Let's put it into practice by using these cookbooks and the Abrams Dinner Party and taking it to the next level. I'm super excited for what the next year is going to bring. And the final pile is 4 books that are fiction foodie related. The first is The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayliss. It is a small town story, and our protagonist, Kate, has a delicious side job baking at the neighborhood cafe. When we get into this time of year, I am usually super burnt out. I just want to read light and fluffy stories, so who wouldn't want a holiday story involving baking? Another holiday book, which was actually the book Dan picked for me for my birthday, is A Cat Cafe Christmas. A Cat Cafe Christmas is by Cody Gary. It came out on my birthday, October 4th, and it's a laugh out loud, opposite attract romance about three of the world's most beloved seas: Christmas, coffee, and cats. I'm so excited to read this. Also, did I miss the memo on color choices for book covers in the past year? Look how similar these two are. And then the last 2 books I have also have very similar color palettes. We're like kind of in this world of pastel colors right now, especially in blues. I mean, oh wait, look, even my nonfiction book is kind of in this color story, and Fatima's cover also in this color family-ish, just a little bit farther off, I'd say. But clearly I missed the memo on color choices for book covers. Does anyone else like evaluate book covers in that way? Anyway, the last 2 books I have to talk about is Lessons in Chemistry. This is a 2022 release. I got this used at Open Books, and I'm really excited because I have picked up this book in Barnes & Nobles and then put it back on the shelf 3 times. It is a little loved. You can see the spine's a little broken or damaged, and actually this one came annotated. I have to say I've bought many used books, especially from Open Books in my life. I've never had an annotated book before that belonged to somebody else. I know some people really like that experience, but for me, it's a little jaunting, or like it can just take me out of it at certain moments. I really like the story so far. I am only 74 pages into the book in Lessons in Chemistry. It's about Elizabeth Zott, and she is this very bright and intelligent woman, and she just is facing a society that doesn't want her to be smart and intelligent. And she, oh my God, it's like an all-male world, and she refuses to sacrifice her intelligence for men. And I'm about 75 pages in. We've met her love interest, who I don't think is going to be around, and we haven't yet gotten to her television show, but it's the early 1960s, and our all-male team at Hastings Research Institute takes a very unscientific view of equality. And then, except for one, the love interest, which is Calvin Evans. But life is unpredictable. In the next few years, she finds herself as a single mother, and she ends up on a cooking show, or the host of a cooking show. I've heard nothing but good things about Lessons in Chemistry, and so far I really love this writing style. I am just so sucked into it, so captivating, but like very sharp, very smart writing is probably the best way to put it. Every word feels like it's been chosen very carefully. There's no extra fluffy writing, if that makes any sense. I am turning the pages. I love that we're looking at food from a chemistry angle, that food is brain power, it is fuel, and it's still in a fictional world, so I really, really like it. Hot Mess is from 2018 and is the last book I hauled. I did get it, again, used at Open Books for $5. It was a birthday gift to myself. And this is our protagonist, whose name I escape, Allie. Allie is a up-and-coming chef in the culinary scene in Chicago, and she gets involved with her romance, who's Benji, and he seems like kind of a bad deal, at least from the inside cover. He's got some addiction problems. And then one day, Benji disappears, and he relapsing to a place where Allie can't reach him, and left with nothing but a massive withdrawal slip and a restaurant that absolutely must open in a matter of weeks. Allie finds herself thrust into the world of luxury and greed, cutthroat business, and sensory delight. Lost in the mess of it all, she will either crumble completely or fight like hell for the life she wants and the love she deserves. I am super excited. Again, more culinary, meet cutes, kitchen romances. This one, I'm interested in this one specifically because I do think that you get a lot of cute culinary romances, but there's a really gritty and dark side to the restaurant industry. There's lots of addiction problems, sobriety problems, and I'm really, really excited to see how dark this book's gonna take it, and how much we're gonna talk about addiction in the story. But there we have it. Those are all of the books I have hauled in the month of October. Let me know in the comments below what has spoken to you, and maybe I will do a review on it on the channel. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. If you go down to the description box, I will have links out to bookshop.org for all of the books that I can find there on the platform. Bookshop.org is an online retailer that gives back to the independent bookseller community, so it supports independent bookstores. We as affiliates do get a small kickback, and it's always a better option to support small and shop small, especially as the holiday season is among us. Think about where you put your dollars this year. Don't buy your books on Amazon. You have the time and so many other options, and your dollars are more likely to stay in your communities if you shop directly with your independent bookstores, or you can select your independent bookstore on the bookshop.org platform and they will receive the donation component. I hope you are well. I will see you in the next one. Keep reading, keep eating. Have a good day. Bye.